going to give like cliff notes pretty much of the North Shore chats that we just finished up here. So what we're going to talk about, shin splints, okay? How do we get them, right? Actually, let's talk about what are they? What are shin splints? Well, shin splints are pretty much an overuse of the tissue, meaning that you have lost proper body mechanics and proper movement patterns, and as a result of that, you've strained some extra tissues, okay? So in regards to anterior shin splints, or what's commonly known as shin splints, is that stretching or the irritation of all the tissue in the front side of the tibia that is getting slammed. I mean, that tissue is trying to hold the foot from slamming against the ground all the time. And obviously, if we're a heel striker or anything like that, that's what's going to cause us to have an overuse of the shin splint, which is, you know, what happens there, okay? So what are they? It's an overuse injury or improper mechanics of what's going on in your lower chain, lower leg, ankle, and foot. Posterior shin splints is the exact same, well, not the exact same thing, but it's improper mechanics. And what tends to happen is that when people are striking, is that either they're doing a heel strike or they're coming through and they're really kind of pronating in or really rolling in on the tissue in the foot. And what that's doing is it's causing these tissues on the back side of the tibia to really get overstretched, okay? So what are shin splints? Overuse injury that happens from poor body mechanics, okay? How do I get them? Because I'm running improperly. Most likely, most of us are actually sitting for prolonged periods of time, and then we get up without doing any proper warm-up or trying to lengthen into the tissue, and then we go out and we try to run or do something like that. And as a result of that, what are we getting? We're getting pain, okay? So the pain is obviously telling us we're not doing something correctly. So now how do I treat that, or what do I need to be doing in order to help try to prevent that? Well, number one, warming up, lengthening the tissue before we do that, okay? Number two, is obviously strengthening or lengthening the tissue, okay? One way that we can do that, like we mentioned, is through the lacrosse ball. The other is through the foam roller, okay? So those are the different cues that we can use to help lengthen and also reduce the amount of tissue that's on those. If we've had a serious injury from shin splints, we're going to tell you to do a lot more compression than anything else, okay? So get a compression sock and try to help that. You may require a rest. It could be 3 to 13 days or so that you may need to be able to have to recover there. But ultimately, you're going to have to go back and try to reset your biomechanics in the way that you're moving. And like I mentioned, most of us, if we're sitting for prolonged periods of time, we're losing the normal pattern, and that's causing us to really dump or actually lose a lot of our correct movement patterns. And it's going to cause a lot of people to start running maybe with a foot that's dragging here, or we're going to lose some hip extension. And there's a lot of other things that could be happening when it comes to why you're occurring. So we don't necessarily think that this is a problem with my foot, or we don't think this is a problem with my shin. What we think is this is a problem with overall movement, and we have to, in order to prevent that, we need to get your hips moving, we need to make sure that your knee is stable, and then we need to make sure that you have proper range of motion into your ankle without heel striking excessively. So it's just kind of a small recap about number one, what are shin splints? Number two, how do we get them? And number three, how do we prevent them and how can we treat them? So hopefully you find this video helpful. We'll always try to have more with you. If you're looking for more information, come to the North Shore Chats. We're having them on the second, fourth Tuesdays of the month. So hope this helps, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next time.